Hello. I just finished The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Mark Twain's amazing classic novel. Good reason that it's a classic. The amount of research that he put in just to refine the dialects of all the characters as Huck and Jim went down the river. A pretty substantial amount of background that he collected before he invested in these characters. And what a great, there's a reason that this is a classic. I love Huck. He reminded me so much of the bad kids that nobody wanted to teach, but I always got to teach because they were just so much fun. Great sense of humor, good kid. And what I liked about him was that he changed throughout the course of the novel. The book itself was very indicative of the time, and the fact that they really didn't view the black slaves as human beings. And at one point, Huck was talking about Jim and how good Jim was, and he said something to the effect of, I knew he was white inside, as if only white people could be compassionate and have sense and be moral. And just that was a pretty clear window into the souls of folks back then. But Huck himself underwent a huge change throughout the course of the novel and with his experiences with Jim, and it was great. And the only part that I didn't like about this book was when Tom Sawyer shows up. He's just such an entitled, spoiled brat is really what Tom was, and he destroyed the last chapters. I just wanted to strangle him. But Huck has a strong sense of right and wrong, and looks at human beings. But he's got a wicked sense of humor, and I would adopt him if I could. I mean, he was just such a cutie pie. And as I was reading this book, and I would recommend to everyone to read it, I revisited it after the last time I read this. I was maybe 15. And I wanted to check it out again. So go for it. But as I was reading the book, a couple others came to mind. The first one was Khaled Hosseini's second book, 1,000 Splendid Suns. Because in that book, too, the main character is willing to make a sacrifice for someone that in the beginning there was discord between them, just as Huck Finn would play practical jokes on Jim and look down on him and deprecate. The main character of 1,000 Splendid Suns is also presented with another woman who she doesn't get on with for a variety of reasons. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but she makes a sacrifice in the end, and that was one of those moments where actions speak louder than words, and I was bawling my eyes out. So that's one. Another book that I thought was great that you should check out is called The Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey Jr., who is the son of Stephen Covey, who wrote 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So definitely check that out, because it was all about building relationships, establishing a sense of trust so that you can actually move forward and cultivate relationships with integrity, and people are able to rely on you and feel confident in their dealings with you. And that idea was reinforced in the book Huckleberry Finn. And then the third book was Candide by Voltaire. That was a fun book. If you like the fast-paced sequencing of Huckleberry Finn, and the chapters are really short, 3 pages maybe, I would then also recommend Candide, because it's the same choppy, quick action as he goes on his adventure with his numbskull friends. And it was good for a few laughs. And if you like that and you want something longer, then check out Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens, which is, again, the same situation of a guy going through these absurd situations. And it's fast-paced, very short, also enjoyable. But Huck Finn, read it. It was so good. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Peace.